Hi, this is Tracy HD, and I want to thank you for joining me today for another weekly Oracle and Angel card reading. And this reading will be for July 13th through the 19th. We're going to use the Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. And it is an absolutely gorgeous deck. I would say it's on the serious side. It's not as whimsical as the Magical Mermaids by Doreen Virtue, but it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Artwork is great, messages are great, and you can use this as a pick a card reading, 1, 2, or 3, or a blended reading of all 3 cards. Okay, as I shuffle the deck, I'm asking all light beings, angels, and God, please relay the message I need to share with my viewers, the highest good of all. At the beginning of the week, I'll take a card from the top, Conchomancy. And in the middle of the week, I'm going to take a card from the center, Lemuria Returns. And then the last card will be the bottom card, and it's Freedom. Okay, so let's start with Conchomancy, and it says, Seashell Divination, Wisdom of Shells. Yeah, so I learned about this a couple years ago, and it's great. It's a form of divination. So if you live by the beach, okay, and you're able to go collect some seashells, and I think I've collected seashells from every beach that I've been to, and I still have them. So even though I don't live near the beach, I can take those out. I could use them. So yeah, what a powerful, powerful thing to do, especially in the summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, or really any time of the year. You could use these seashells for divination. And it's saying wisdom of shells. And let me see what the book says on this, because this is really interesting. And this is card number 32 for those of you who are into numerology. And it's saying, you are being asked to listen to and begin to understand the art of reading seashells, an ancient art, simple, pure, and powerful. Seashell divination has a long, secretive history, and shells such as the beautiful Cavrites, not sure if I'm pronouncing that, are used in fertility magic. They have been found in the burial mounds of the ancient people of Germany. And then it goes on to saying reading and working with shells can help us connect directly to the mer energies, the sea healing, and the oceanic beings that help us remember our deep love of the ocean. And yeah, what I'm getting from Spirit is also sea salt baths are very therapeutic. And I do them once a week with the sea salts, and it removes all of the negativity, all of the energy that I may have picked up during the week. So this way I could start my week out without that energy. Or if you want to go down to the ocean, if you live near the ocean, and be able to actually go into the ocean and completely submerge yourself in the sea. This is telling someone out there needs to be connected with nature. So even if you don't live by an ocean or beach, you can still go out and be in a park, be in your backyard. Beautiful. And then the next card is Lemuria Returns. And we have this pregnant woman, and maybe someone out there is expecting a baby or wanting to become pregnant, because it was saying about, fertility. Some of these shells are used for fertility, and then we have this woman here who is about to give birth. And, it could be you giving birth to a project. It could be you actually giving physical birth, or finding out someone that may be expecting. And it says earthly spirituality, community, ocean conservation. And it's just so beautiful. And she's just sitting there so peaceful, looking down at her stomach. And this is card number 29. And what the book says about this is, do you know of this place, a place where the mother of all was loved and reversed, where you were at one with the land, sea, and sky? This place was and is Lemuria, and you are connecting with her energy now. Lemuria was and is a tropical paradise that was home to millions of beings who grew and developed out of the planet's earth and ocean, evolving from sea beings into beings of land, sea, and sky. Many of them today are able to genetically tap into these ancient memories. Places where Lemurian remnants exist today are many. They are particularly dotted throughout the vast ocean known as the Pacific, which translates to peaceful. Throughout much of the Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia, we can find these energies in pockets that are so strong they're almost like stepping into another world. And it's basically saying it's a time of sharing responsibilities and pleasures, meaningful gatherings with codes and ethics, enjoying a time of great and good health, and of close and nurturing friendships that respect individual boundaries and choices. Life for a time becomes very simple. Seasonal eating, building non-permanent homes, living outdoors for as much time as possible, an ability to work with sunlight, moonlight, extremely being effective without becoming wired. Feeling less and less connected to the mainstream and more connected to the ocean and earth. So again, this is giving me that feeling that we need to go out in nature. And if it's not by an ocean, okay, you could go out into the wooded area. I live in a wooded area here. So however you connect with nature, it seems to be the theme so far that we need to be grounded this week. And then the last card is freedom, independence, self-determination. Okay, and she's looking very serious. Okay, and the red, the color red is making me feel like someone needs to get up the courage to become more independent, to seek more freedom. And let me see what the book says about this, because to me, and this is card number 7, to me it's telling me somebody needs to stand up for themselves maybe. And it's saying that, sometimes in life we identify and define ourselves by the groups or organizations we belong to. Somewhere along the way, our unique energy can be muffled. With this card, we mermaids are asking you to consider who you are when you are not a member of your family, a relationship, or an organization. It's time to be self-determined rather than considering the needs of the group, which is noble and wonderful. We are asking you to be independent, to have at last your own source of money. Just a small account will do, where you place money for your dreams, to have a sense of who you are and whether in or without a loving relationship, to know who you are and what it is to love and like and wish for a dream and desire of the world. So this is saying, we need to detach, okay? Sometimes we identify ourselves, with these groups and these labels. We aren't labels. We aren't our identity based on other people. We are our authentic selves. And, maybe it's time for someone to seek more independence and maybe break away from groups that maybe you've outgrown. This has a lot of meanings to me. And I'm thinking, as far as Spirit is saying right now, is that someone needs to stand in their own truth and not go along with the crowd maybe. Maybe there's some situation at the end of the week where you're going to need to maybe break away from a group or certain beliefs that are no longer serving your highest good, because, not all these things are meant to stay in our life forever. Some will stay in our life for a long time. Some are just passing through to teach us lessons. So maybe it's time you re-examine the groups you belong to. Maybe it's time that you take a time out and have some solitude, some quiet time. Because when we're constantly involved and enmeshed in these groups or circles of friends or constantly with family members, we kind of lose our identity in them. And a lot of times we become people pleasers and just go along with the crowd because we want to be liked or we fear being an outcast. But this is telling me some of you need to gain your independence. Okay, and like it was saying, maybe financial independence is something someone out there needs to hear, and to me, I'm a very independent person. I've been on my own since I was 14 years old, so I learned how to be self-reliant at a very early age. So to me, independence is easy as breathing because it's all I've ever really known. Then again, I think people are born with that maybe in their, how could I say? Some people are prone to be more independent than others. That's how I feel. And, being an only child, I didn't have any siblings growing up. So I spent a lot of time on my own, a lot of time alone. So that could possibly have something to do with it. But it may be hereditary, it may be genetic. I don't know. But I've always been a very independent person. And that's to me, I feel so much better not depending on other people. Not that I don't need anyone. I don't want to, come off as that, but being independent to me has made me into a very self-reliant person and very strong. And I'm able to stand on my own and I stand up for myself. And I've never been the kind to go along with the crowd. Uh, but maybe some of you out there need to stand up for yourselves and become more independent and be aware of maybe where in your life you have a codependent relationship that might not be healthy. It's going to mean a lot of different things for other people, but I think somebody out there needs to break free and become more of their own person and become more of their authentic self, because each and every one of us have something to offer this world. We do not need to blend in. We do not need to be people pleasers. We could be independent. We can exist on our own. We don't need a group to identify ourselves. We don't need to belong to any circle of friends in order to feel like we matter. So whoever this is for, I think it's time to gain your freedom, gain your independence. What an interesting reading. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it by giving it a thumbs up, share it, and above all, subscribe, because I will be back with more.